One of the lines in the documentary that um, really stood out for me was something you said, Ben, about how change only happens when people wake up to the fact that nobody's going to save them. It's a hard thing to swallow, because we feel like we've entrusted, regulators, government officials, elected officials to have our backs. And I know, speaking with people around the region, a lot of people have learned the hard way that that is not the case and they've been betrayed, but not everybody is aware. So how do you help people come to their own realization of this? Because people aren't going to believe it just because you say it.
Well, Tanette, it's over the years, it's become a little bit easier because more and more people are exposed to the simple fact that their government, their elected officials aren't actually responsive. And when I say that, it's not just that they're all corrupt. It's mostly that the system has been corrupted over time, that the laws, the regulations, and the rest of it have been hijacked so that they protect the interests of industry and profit making and not the interests of communities and our health and the environment. Um, it initially it was very difficult because people wanted to believe that their government and their laws represented their interests, and they were very loath to believe that that they don't, and that there's no way to resolve the problems that face us. That's a that's a point where people they give up. I've heard so many elected officials say, "Well, there's so much apathy in the community. They don't come to meetings. They don't really tell us what they need." And then when after talking to so many people in their communities, it's clear to me the reason that they're not engaged is because they know they can't create the outcomes that they want by asking their local officials, their county officials, their provincial or state officials. And so, how can they come to understand that that's really the case? Our initial tactics were to run through people through the gamut, have them okay, try to protect your local environment. Let's pass some local laws. Let's see what happens. And what happens almost inevitably is that they're sued by a corporation who enlists the government and the courts to bring about an overturning of the local law that would have protected the people's health from toxic landfills, from injecting frack waste into the ground, same ground where their well water comes from. And what we find is that what the system protects is the interests of wealth and the corporate interests who, uh, simply put, they finance the campaigns of the legislators who are elected, who make the laws and make the regulations. So exposing people firsthand to see that that's how it works. It's painful, but it's one way to wake people up. The other is for the rest of the people in communities surrounding to see what's happened and to learn from that. And I think there's a growing awareness of the dire straits we're in, and that we are the ones we've been waiting for. Nobody else is going to help us. There's no one with a white hat riding into town to make it all right for us.